So what I want to talk to you about in this video here is a bit of a short-term technical analysis of what we could expect to see happening on gold over the next week. Gold, silver, and what's happening through there from a technical analysis point of view and what we could expect to see coming through this week here, right? So that's what this is, a bit of a short-term technical analysis across these markets. So let's actually start off with the good old gold chart here. So one thing that you're noticing here, one thing that I'm always trying to do with any market is the first thing I'm trying to see is where is the trend and where's the flow of the market, because we want to go with that. But then also, I want to make sure that in every flow of market, if every strong trend, so if I bring this weekly chart up here with gold, if every strong trend, there is acceleration phase, energy using phases, right? Which is the market energy using is when the market's going, right? Moving up. And then there comes a point in time when we go through an energy building phase, right? Where the market just goes sideways. They go through these phases. And then they go, and then after the energy building phase, we go through an energy using phase. And then we go through another energy building phase, which may be sideways this time. Sometimes it's a drop, say to 50% Fibonacci, right? Sometimes it's a sideways pattern, but we go through these phases. The reason why that's important, because after every cycle, meaning after every energy using phase, there will come a energy building phase. And then after the energy building phase, there comes an energy using phase. And then after the energy using phase, there comes an energy building phase. That's where understanding this flow, right? And look at this here, energy using, energy building, energy using, energy building, energy using, energy building. Now we're using energy to go up. See how the market just flows like that. The reason why that's so important from a short-term technical analysis from a trading perspective is because if we've been part of this energy using phase, right here, energy using, and we are in part of this energy using phase, if we've been part of that energy using phase, which is moving in a direction, not just sideways or a pullback, then we know that there's going to come a point in time real soon when we start to go through what? Another one of these, another one of these. It's just the flow, right? And that's where, like for me, the best trades for me is I wait for this bit here first. Then I'm trying to get in, say here. I'm waiting for this bit here first. So I'm waiting. I don't like to get in when the market's already made very big moves. Right? Because when the market's already made very big moves in the markets, then we're probably going to get in at the top, right? There's probably a lot of traders that do that. They wait for the market to move. Oh, it's going up, it's going up, it's going up. Oh, it's going up, it's going up. And market's been going up for a month, and then they decide to get in. That's too late. Why? Because now you're getting into probably the top of this phase, which is the energy using phase. Energy using is meaning they're using energy to push this market around. When the market's going sideways, they're not really using energy, right? Because they're not selling it off, they're not buying it up, they're just not too quite sure, right? And then bam, we go continue again. So with the context of what I just said there's a high probability that we're getting ready. We don't know exactly when, but we're going to be alert of the energy building phase to come once again. Right? So do we go to 3,000? One thing I am noticing here on the gold chart is that there's obviously two lines here right now. We don't need to use you anymore because that was the channel from there to there. So this is the line that I'm using right now here. And if I'm using that, and let's go Cologne, and let me bring this up to here, we can see where we're at right now, right? We can see there's a bit of a channel here, bit of a channel here. So, and we're right at that level right now. So if all things are equal, one, we've been in this energy using phase for quite some time. And again, it can keep going up, right? It doesn't mean we're going to stop right now. We're just going to be alert that very soon, maybe over the next few weeks, we're probably going to experience a bit of a short-term drop or a sideways period, right? Once again, just like we see through here, sideways. This was here for, these are weekly charts. That was for 2 or 3 months. 2 or 3 months. 2 or 3 months. That's always the 2 or 3 months, maybe longer, in the energy building phase, right? And then we go for move. So we can look at that through there. If I can now, this is the weekly chart. Now I'm going to go to my daily charts, and now we can see what's going on here. So we have a little bit through here. So we may, looking at the channel of this, right? We may have a little bit more upside to come, but there's definitely a lot of resistance here around the channel there. And once again, look at this here. We have just been going straight up through here. There's high probability we may end up pushed to the upside to get to that 3,000 level. But once that happens, we're probably going to pull back. And all that is this pullback here is just the trend being made, right? There's a very big thing here that I see a lot of people, right? If we have a very big up move from here, and then suddenly the market starts selling off like this, then they think, oh my goodness, the top's in, the market's going to go down. Oh my goodness, the top's in. But what is this doing? All this is doing is coming back down to then make this here, and then we go back up again. And all this was doing was pulling back, a pullback against the trend to make the higher low. Because we know higher lows are upward trends, right? So for the higher low to be made, it has to come back down because that's how higher lows are made. So as this is coming back down, one, we're expecting it because now we've been using a lot of energy for a while. Very shortly, we don't know exactly when, but we're alert of where we're getting at right now. And when this does start to happen, we're not going to freak out. We're not going to say the top's in gold and so on and so forth. We're just going to say this is part of a very big, healthy bull market. And we're now breaking out to the upside. And if we go back to the weekly charts, all that is what? All that is just a short-term drop in the markets. Then probably a bounce and then a continuation from there, right? Or if things start to change, if we know that maybe gold's starting to top out, and I know most of you guys don't want to hear that, but anything is possible, we need to be alert as a trader, right? You're an investor, different story. But if we break this level here, that's when we start to say, oh, something's changing here. Something is changing, right? So that's what I'm seeing there with our good old gold market. Now the silver market, silver is actually a lot different. If I'm looking at some sort of support and resistance lines, we definitely have a low level through here and a low level through here. But silver is one of those harder ones where it just really hasn't been doing it. We definitely need to start I'm just trying to see if I can. Okay, so so there's actually a bit of resistance level. There's actually, there's actually strong levels of resistance around that 34 level. And then, okay, so if we do continue to break up through this 34 level, you can see there's a lot of resistance back here. Now, again, this is the weekly chart, right? The next major level of support, okay, so depending on what happens, maybe gold, if gold gets a little bit of a pullback and this doesn't get too much of a drop, then once we break this level here, we could be getting ready for a really nice move out of silver. Because again, if we have a look at this, if I zoom back in here, look at this back here. So we know that was the resistance. But once we actually break above this level here, then as you can see, look at this. As you can see, there's actually there's no area of what I call resistance. It came down through here, right? That's where the resistance is. So if we do now, let's actually squeeze this chart up a bit more, as you can see. If we do, just by looking at this level here, if we do hold here, and for some reason, once gold starts to get the pullback, if we get a pullback and silver doesn't pull back too much, go down too much, maybe we just do something like that and then break out, then silver could be getting ready for a really, really, really nice move because that's the resistance, and the next resistance is up here. There's actually, as you can see, there's nothing. All this here is what's called white space. It's pretty free and clear. Now, when it comes to percentage move, I know you silver guys are going to love this, right? That's talking about we could be getting ready for a 35% move to the upside really quickly out of silver. Now, that means that if gold is going to go for another move, then maybe again, that's what I'm looking at from that perspective. And as you can see how one thing that's really important to do is I'm doing my analysis on gold and silver, but see how they're separate markets, right? Then one doesn't follow the other, right? And I know you guys are going to fight me on that, but look what gold is doing. Gold is in a very big, strong acceleration phase. What's silver been doing? Nothing. Right? So we need to analyze them separately. We don't say gold and silver are. No. Right? Gold is likely to have a bit of a short-term drop because we've been going up for the last month. Silver for the last month or so has been doing nothing. So we may not get a nice drop through here. But the big thing I'm watching for is once it breaks above this level here, we could be getting ready for a really big move out of silver to come. So this is the area I'm probably going to be watching to see what happens around this week from here.